What if I told you there's a church growth goal that you can set that's virtually pain-free and almost guaranteed to succeed? Today, I'm walking you through step by step how to set an annual visitors goal for your church, a goal that will increase awareness, build momentum in your kids and youth ministries, and generally improve your church's overall health. I mean, I've coached pastors of churches of 50 people who've absolutely blown their visitor goals out of the water using this exact process. And I want to show you how you can do the same. So if you've ever struggled with setting growth goals that feel discouraging or unrealistic, stick around. This is going to change the way you think about church growth. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to walk away with a clear understanding of why a visitor's goal beats traditional church growth goals. You're going to walk away with the exact formula to calculate and set your goal so it's achievable and not demoralizing. I'll give you practical strategies to spread that goal across your various areas of ministry, including your children's and youth ministry. And it'll clarify on whether you should go public with this goal or keep it with your leadership team. Now, this isn't theory. This is a practical roadmap you can implement starting this week. Let's start with why this type of goal is so powerful compared to other growth goals. First, it increases visitor awareness across your entire church. When you set a visitor's goal, a first-time visitor's goal, you're signaling to your team and congregation that welcoming outsiders matters. New people matter. Unhealthy churches focus inward, but healthy churches focus on the newcomer, the visitor, the stranger. Ask yourself, is your church naturally aware of visitors, or do they slip through unnoticed and even uncared for? Secondly, it gives you clarity of focus, this first-time visitors goal. You're declaring, we're interested in people coming, joining, and integrating into the life of our church. Our church is not just a club for its members. And that focus shapes everything, your programming, your volunteer training, your follow-up systems. And third, this is huge for pastors. It's basically a pain-free goal. Think about it. If you set a goal to grow from 100 to 130 people attending on a Sunday, what happens if you hit it? I mean, that's huge growth. What are you going to do the next year? You're going to grow from 130 to 60? And what do you do after that? You're going to grow to 190 to 20? That burden, it just grows year by year. But a first-time visitor's goal, you set it, you can achieve it, and you can repeat it year in, year out, without that escalating pressure of, my goodness, we've got to grow again. It's a sustainable goal. It's a motivating goal, and it actually works. Now let's talk about how a visitor's goal impacts specific ministries in your church. Here's something most pastors miss. A visitor's goal isn't just about your main Sunday service. It's about your entire church ecosystem. Your children's ministry should have its own visitor target. Picture this. Your Sunday ministry is full of children. Your kids' ministry is buzzing with energy. When families visit, the kids' experience often determines if they come back or not. But think about your kids' check-in area, your classrooms, your volunteers. Are they visitor ready? You see, this flows through your whole vision for your church. Same goes for your youth ministry. They have a first-time visitors goal as well. Teenagers inviting teenagers. Parents chatting to parents of teenagers saying, hey, your kids can come in the car, I'll take them to youth group. When your youth team is thinking about visitors, they're thinking about how to create an environment where a new teenager feels welcome. And you can get your youth leaders and your children's leaders involved in setting their own first-time visitors goal. Let them own it. But here's the bigger picture. When you focus on visitors across all three areas, your auditorium or sanctuary, your children's ministry, and your youth ministry, you're improving your church's overall health. You're shifting from an inward focus, the club, to an outward focus, the neighborhood, the community. And that shift, it changes the culture of your church. I remember coaching a pastor of a church of about 50 people. They set this goal and they decided, we're going to tell the whole congregation, we're going to get everyone on board. You don't need to do that, but he decided to do that. You know what happened? They absolutely crushed the goal. Why? Because it motivated their members to think about visitors, to invite people to be visitor aware. Awareness leads to action. Action leads to change. Change leads to growth. Feeling stuck as a church leader? Growing your church doesn't have to be overwhelming. The Hub gives you step by step roadmaps to grow a healthy church in just 20 minutes a day. Join the hundreds of church leaders who found their breakthrough by accessing my 4 decades of ministry experience, which delivers genuine results. Start your free 14-day trial today at growahealthychurch.com/hub. So, how do you actually calculate and set a visitor's goal? You just kind of come up with a number and that'll do, or you might say, the Lord told me this number. It might be 7 because that's a Bible number. No, I don't think so. Let me give you an exact process. Let's get practical. Strap yourself in. Here we go. Here's exactly how to set your annual first time visitors goal. Step 1, calculate your current visitor numbers. Look at your auditorium, your children's ministry, and youth ministry. On a monthly average, how many first time visitors do we get? Is it 1, 5, 10, 20? If you have historical data, great, you can use that. If not, take a couple of months to actually track the numbers. Don't just guess. Don't throw a dart at the dartboard. Don't make up a number. Get an accurate baseline, even if it takes you a couple of months to get that baseline. But you need to ignore those Easter and Christmas spikes, or you can include them in your ultimate numbers, but don't kind of go, hey, we'll do this over Easter and that'll make our average really high and we'll shoot for that. No, don't do that. Take out the outliers. Step 2, set your goal at 90% of that number. So if you think your actual visitor numbers, first time visitor numbers over a year is actually, I think we're getting about 20 first time visitors over a year. All right, what are we going to shoot for? 18, 16. Wait, why don't you shoot for the whole 20? Why not aim higher? Here's the key principle: under project, overperform. If you had 20 visitors and you said, we're going to go for 18 and you get 22, go, whoa, we really kind of blew it out of the water, 18 and 22. But if you set for 20 and you got 18, you'd be, oh, didn't quite make it. But if you got set 18 and you got 19, 18, you kind of go, good. But if you got 22, wow. So under project, overperform. Step 3, spread the goal across these 3 areas: your main auditorium, your children's ministry, and your youth ministry. You can also have a combined number, but make sure each area have their own piece of the action. Step 4, create strategies to hit those numbers. For the youth, how many of the teenagers are going to invite their friends? What about the parents actually helping with the transport? What events can you host? For the kids, what makes your kids' ministry so good that parents want to bring their friends' families? For adults, think about the special services: Mother's Day, Father's Day, big day, cultural events, Christmas, Easter. Kind of really lean into those events where people naturally invite guests. But it's not just about those services. They're highly visitor aware services. You want to also maintain that visitor awareness culture and build it strong in this. Now, there's one more question pastors always ask me: should I tell my whole church about the goal or keep it with my leadership team? At a minimum, you should absolutely need to set this goal with your key leaders and your board. Get them involved in the process. Get them excited about it. Share the vision. Talk about the difference it'll make to the culture. Let them help you shape the strategies. Should you tell the whole church? Well, you could be like the pastor of 50 who said, yes, I'm doing this. I don't think it's a bad idea, but maybe your church is different. You can work that out and I'll leave it with you. Do what's right for your church culture. If your congregation responds well to shared goals and vision, go public. If you're in a season where you need some quick wins before making big announcements, keep it with your leadership first. Here's something important to remember: building a visitor-focused culture is as much a leadership activity as it is a ministry activity. You're not just doing ministry here. You're developing leadership within your church, amongst your youth leaders, your children's leaders, your volunteer leaders. You're building something sustainable that will grow a healthy church. Recap: calculate your visitor numbers. Don't guess. Set a 12-month goal at 90 or 80% of that number. Spread the goal across your auditorium, children's and youth ministries, and then work on specific strategies to bring visitors in and decide who gets to know the goal. This goal will build momentum, improve your church health, and you'll achieve it, growing your church through visitors. It's the only sustainable way to grow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever set a visitors goal for your church? What worked? What didn't? Drop a comment below and let me know what you've done in this area.